Hello to you beautiful people. Right there, I'm into this phone. So today we're going to get straight into it, and today we're going to go through the most important thing, the most important factor that's really stopping you from having the things that you want in your life. So anything that's holding you back, anything that's creating recurring conflicts, recurring problems in your life comes down to this one thing. Now, very often when people talk about problems that are holding them back, they think about fear. But they think about fear from the completely wrong angle. Now, my philosophy, if you do not know it already, is that during certain stages of your life, when you're a small child, you develop certain irrational fears. Now, from these irrational fears that you have to cope with, because these are fears based on you not wanting to do things, which cannot cause you harm, cannot cause you danger, but are essential for your growth and essential for you to live a successful and happy life. And from this fear, you develop a resistance. Now, this resistance acts like shackles on your life. It stops you from being able to do the things that you want to. And as it stops you from being able to do these things, it stops you growing and getting the results and the rewards from those things. But also, on the flip side, it creates massive avoidance, which leads to huge irrational fear. So the irrational fear creates the resistance. The more you follow the resistance, it creates more irrational fear. And it leads to literally destroying someone's confidence, self-esteem, purpose, direction in life, and makes us feel trapped, makes us feel obedient, makes us feel passive, makes us feel withdrawn in life. Now, over the weekend, I've been helping some guys with social anxiety, and one of the things that we've been doing is walking around the city and getting people to walk up to people, strangers, and talk to them about random things in order to break down this resistance. And what all of the guys found, which is something they didn't realize before, is that very often people think, which is probably something you do as well, that you need to remove the fear. So you have a fear, you have an anxiety, you have this feeling, and you need to get rid of this feeling, but the feeling is not the problem. The irrational fear is not the problem. The only problem is the resistance. Now imagine these guys, guys that are unbelievably resistant, uncomfortable, fearful towards walking up to strangers, walking up to women, walking up to different people, speaking in front of public, expressing themselves boldly, So they're withdrawn, held back, people-pleasing, obsessed about other people's approval, obsessed about not standing out, obsessed about judgment from others. All these different symptoms coming from that resistance, creating havoc on their life because they can't do the things that they want to. They can't move forward in life in the way they want to because it's continuously keeping them trapped and holding them back. Now, what they found, which is what you'll find in your own life, is that when you begin to break through this resistance, when you begin to break through from it, you'll find that even if the fear still stays, it causes no impact on the quality of your life. The problem is the resistance, because the resistance is pervasive. The resistance is every single day. Everything you want in your life right now, you want to improve your mental health, your emotional well-being, you want to improve your confidence, your self-esteem, you want better results in your life, you want to earn more money, you want to start a new business, you want to go up and speak to a girl that you're attracted to, you want to be more relaxed, present and comfortable with your family and with your children. All of these problems come down to that resistance, because that resistance is creating two major conflicts in your life. On the one side, it's knocking your confidence, your self-esteem, making you avoidant, making you feel highly stressed, uncomfortable, influencing your sleep, leading you to create more poor habits in your life, overeating, overdrinking, eating more unhealthy foods, It's the causal factor behind all of these things. And on the other side, it's stopping you growing, it's stopping you stepping out of your comfort zone, it's stopping you learning, it's stopping you pushing forward. So on two fronts, it's causing every problem in your life. Now, what the majority of people do is this. The irrational fear comes as a resistance. And from this resistance, all these different symptoms, insecurities, inadequacies, worries, frustrations, symptoms, all these different problems arise in our life like a tree sprouting up, And what most people do throughout their entire life is that they try and manage these symptoms. So they focus on these symptoms and try and manage them. So all the guys that come and saw me over the weekend, every single one of them has all these kind of symptomatic problems in their life. And what we're doing is we're going down to the root of the problem, chopping that tree down so that all of these problems dissipate at once. Whereas most of us, like me, like you, most of us try and spend our entire life managing these symptoms, whilst looking at other people thinking that person's life has flown by so much more successfully. Things seem to just work out better for that person, and so on and so forth, without understanding that I love meditation, I love mindfulness, I love progressive relaxation, I love breathing techniques, I love personal development, I love all these types of things. I love them. I love them, yeah. But what they do not do is go to the root cause. And what you'll find is that most people don't want to go to the root cause. Yeah, it feels too overwhelming, it feels too scary, it feels too frightening. And it's more comforting to manage symptoms thinking that will work in life. But 85 years is such a long time that you're going to live for. It's important to recognize within yourself that management will not work. You have to recover from these problems, and the only way to recover is to really take a big look in the mirror right now, reflect on what resistances you have in your life. And if you don't understand that philosophy, if you don't understand that concept, just look at your life and evaluate the recurring problems in your life, the recurring mental health problems in your life, yep, the recurring things, successes that you're not having, yep, and the key things that you would not do whatever happens. So if I asked you to go and do public speaking, if I asked you to go and do something that made you feel embarrassed, if I go to ask you something that made people judge you, if I go to ask you to do something that made you had a negative reaction from someone, yeah. So certain things along these lines, yeah, they create massive resistance within you, and these are barriers that lines where you will not cross regardless, yeah. And these are the things that are keeping you trapped in this square and creating all of these problems in your life. So my advice to you is to realize in yourself that there's so many personal development things people can do, and I love all of those things, but unless you do the first thing, all of those things are completely and utterly fucking wasted. Completely wasted. There's a foundation, and if you do not deal with the foundation, everything else you build on top of it will just crumble over time. You know, most of my clients, most of the people who see me at work, have the same problems over and over again throughout their entire life. Now, they may speak about it differently. They may talk about the symptoms of the problems have changed over time. Maybe they're a different partner with different problems. Maybe they had different insecurities. Maybe they had different fears. Maybe they had different anxieties. Maybe one time they had insomnia, another time they had depression. But the cause is still the same. So my perspective is, what does it really take? What does it really take for you to not just deal with the symptoms, but to move forward and up-level your life so that these things no longer have any impact on you for the rest of your life? That's what's important, isn't it? To stop fucking around with symptoms, to stop messing around with managing problems, to actually draw a line in the sand, to put your foot down, to say, right now is the time to finally take control of this in a way that's truly right for you. Blow it up. Me and my kids do that every day. We love that shit.